Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm glad you're here. But before we get started, I have to ask you a question. What are you wearing? Obviously you aren't wearing the official Cobra Kyle merchandise, and I don't mean to sound rude, but I thought I was speaking to a fashionably hip crowd, but it doesn't appear that way. If you want to look as fashionably put together as I do right now, I've left links down in the description below where you can purchase your own Cobra Kyle t-shirt or hoodie. There's 2 t-shirt designs as well as 2 hoodie designs. Winter is coming, stock up on those clothes, support your 50th favorite YouTube channel. I truly appreciate it. This is my Nukeproof Reactor trail bike, and I absolutely love it except for one issue. It's pretty heavy. I weighed it this morning and it comes in at 34.98 pounds, which I think is a bit heavy for a 130mm trail bike. Around here on my local trails in San Antonio, the weight isn't that noticeable, but as I've been taking it to places with bigger elevation changes, the weight makes itself way more apparent. And while I could just ride more and get stronger, I've chosen to throw my hard-earned money at a problem that I could easily fix myself if I was a bit more disciplined. So I started my search for lighter parts, things like carbon handlebars, a lighter stem, a lighter cassette, etc., etc. But all of those things that I just mentioned were either too expensive or didn't shave off that much weight. But then I turned my attention to the largest objects on the bike, obviously the wheels and tires. Currently I have the Hunt Enduro Wide 29-inch wheels, which are absolutely wonderful. I love these wheels, and they are paired with a Maxxis Minion DHF 2.5-inch up front and a Maxxis Aggressor 2.5-inch in the rear. I was originally thinking of getting a second wheel set for rides around here in San Antonio, and I was looking at the Hunt XC Wide wheel set, but it would only save 0.92 pounds and they cost $400. I really didn't want to spend that much money to save less than a pound. I started to assess my typical rides here in San Antonio and took a good hard look at my tires. Maybe I don't need such an aggressive tire around here. And when I started to look at the weights of these online, I knew this is a great place to cut some fat. According to the Maxxis website, my current tire setup weighs 4.53 pounds. I started searching for the lightest tire I could find that still offers good grip and good protection. And eventually my search led me to these Kenda Booster Pro 29-inch by 2.4-inch tires. According to Kenda's website, the combined weight of these 2 tires is 3.04 pounds, which is a total weight savings of 1.49 pounds. Look at this impressive coverage of abilities here on the Kenda packaging. Fast, light, grippy, and strong. We'll see about that. I got both for around $100, so spending $100 to save 1.5 pounds is pretty impressive. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I bought cross-country tires, so you don't have to. Before swapping to the Kenda tires, I wanted to put these 2 tire setups to the test in a head-to-head battle to see if 1.5 pounds really makes that big of a difference. Our testing ground will be McAllister Park here in San Antonio, where I've created some tests that are 100% objective, accurate, and scientific. Tests that nobody in their right mind on the internet could dispute or object to, and I, Cobra Kyle, will be heralded by the scientific community for my incredibly articulate experiments. For these tests, I will be running 20 psi in the front and the rear. I'm also running rim-packed tire inserts, and I will have those on both sets of tires. Let's go ahead and go to McAllister Park and we'll test out the Maxxis tires and get the base times for these. The first test is rolling down a gravel hill without pedaling and standing in a neutral position. This should test rolling efficiency and rolling resistance while hopefully removing any human error. The second test is riding through a 1.3 mile rock garden section, and the goal is to get through it as fast as possible. This should test the grip of the tires along with the durability. And stop. The next test will be a technical climb, followed by some loose, twisty single track, and then we'll descend upon Caliche Hill. And this should show climbing abilities, cornering, and descending abilities on some technical terrain. And stop. And finally, we have a road sprint around my neighborhood, which is about half a mile. And stop. Now that we filmed all those tests with the Maxxis tires, we can go ahead and put on the Kenda tires, and I'm honestly really excited about this. One, go. Oh yeah. God. Holy crap, it's so fast. The responsiveness is astonishing. I haven't felt any loss of grip yet, which is nice. I took the left line last time, so we'll do that again. Up through there. Holy crap. It's so fast. Stop. Oh, wow. Here we go. And I think I went to this responsiveness. Holy. To say I'm impressed with these tires would actually be a huge understatement. I was actually really nervous even buying these tires and trying this experiment because originally I thought either it's not going to make that big of a difference or they're going to be super slick tires. I'm just going to be slipping all over the place, crashing on every corner. But I'm happy to report that I was completely wrong. Towards the beginning of the video, I said that this bike weighed 34.98 pounds with the Maxxis tires. And after switching to the Kenda tires, this bike now weighs 33.42 pounds. That is a total weight savings of 1.56 pounds just by swapping the tires. You may see this frame bag here, please ignore that. I just got that. That was not included in any of the weights in this video or any of the testing. We'll talk about that thing in a future video. 1.56 pounds of rotational weight gone. I truly notice a big difference in the pedaling efficiency of this bike. Coming from a dead stop off the line, this thing just takes off like a rocket ship. So much better than it was with those Maxxis tires. As you saw from the results, every result was faster on these Kenda tires. And not only was I faster in each test, I wasn't as fatigued by the end of them. You're covering a lot more ground while putting out a lot less effort. That's great. Now with any upgrade, there are of course pros and cons, and that's what this final section will be about. I'll try to go through this as quickly as possible, not to make this video 20 or 30 minutes. We'll go ahead and start with the pros, and obviously the first thing is, it's faster. I can say after doing this with 100% confidence that 1.5 pounds off your wheels makes a huge noticeable difference. Aside from those 4 tests that you just watched in this video, I have been riding this bike quite a bit with these tires on it. I find myself spending more time in harder gears because it doesn't take as much muscle to get it up to speed. So I'm just faster overall, and it's kind of a wonderful feeling. No, I'm not gonna go full cross country, but it's just nice having a more responsive and energized bike while still having the same geometry and everything else that I love about this bike. Another pro to these tires is I think it's going to make me a better rider. I've noticed that I've already had to change how I ride a little bit with these tires. On climbing, for example, I have to be in a heavier gear because if I try to use the Eagle gear on a loose climb, these tires lose traction very easily when you're putting a lot of power down. But again, the weight is less, so I don't need to be in the Eagle gear as much. Caliche Hill at McAllister Park, I've never gotten up that hill so easily and so quickly. I was still 2 or 3 gears away from the Eagle. So it does change the way I've climbed, but I'm already getting used to it and I'm getting up climbs a lot faster and I'm physically less tired when I get to the top of them. Like I've said in a lot of my videos, I'm not very good at cornering, and I think these tires are going to teach me to corner better. And with those extra chunky tires I normally run, I think I relied more on the side knobs to corner, but now they're not as big, so it's going to be up to me to figure out how to corner better. Another pro about the Booster Pros, these tires aren't as limiting as I thought they might be. What do I mean by that? I like to be a pretty well-versed rider in different categories. I wouldn't say I excel at one discipline of mountain biking. I like to jump, I like to drop, but that's not all I do. I was a little concerned that I would lose the ability to hit jumps or hit drops on these tires, but I'm happy to report I don't see any limitations in that right now. I was at Parkwood yesterday, I went down the line called Burma. I was able to hit both drops on that. Yes, I was a little bit nervous at first because some of those landings are pretty loose rock, but I've noticed if you point these tires pretty straight, they're gonna hold. Just like the Kenda packaging states, these are pretty grippy tires. So we just talked about jumping, dropping. Another thing I noticed is bunny hopping. Obviously easier because I am lifting 1.5 pounds less into the air. This clip here at Yellow Root, for example, I was able to easily bunny hop over Yellow Root. I could do it before, but I feel like, again, I'm not putting as much effort into doing it. Yeah, that's just another pro. That pretty much covers the pros. I didn't write a script for this part, so I'm just kind of going off the old noggin. But we'll go ahead and talk about some of the cons I've noticed with these tires. And the first one is going to be puncture protection. Now, I can't speak on that too much. I've been riding these for about a week in some very rocky technical terrain, and they've held up absolutely fine. I've had no punctures. They haven't lost air at all. They've been good, but I don't think they're going to be as strong as like a Maxxis double down casing. So only time will tell if I get a tear in these. But that is a sacrifice you're going to make when you go to a lighter tire. It's going to be a little less durable, a little less puncture resistant, but depending where you live, that may not even matter to you. Another con is actually one of the pros I discussed earlier, which is cornering grip. The side lugs aren't huge, but they're pretty firm. I did notice them losing some traction in some really chunky, loose rock technical stuff, where you'd hit a nice sized rock and you would feel it lose control just a little bit, but it wasn't so slick that I couldn't control it and stay on the bike. But yeah, you're going to have a little less traction with these than you would a Minion or an Assegai. It's just gonna require me to adjust how I ride and figure out these tires. As I ride these more and more, I think I will adjust to them and learn how to handle them properly. And finally, the last potential con is long-term durability. Obviously, I can't speak on that either right now because I've only had these for about a week. The tread pattern with it being smaller knobs, I imagine they will wear out faster than the larger Maxxis knobs. Maybe that won't be the case because the rubber on this does feel a little more firm than the soft Maxxis Minion tires. If they do rip or something catastrophic happens to them, they lose all their tread in a matter of 2 weeks, I will definitely do an updated review. If you couldn't tell by now, I am thoroughly impressed with these tires. When I first bought them, I didn't expect to like them as much as I do. They've made a believer out of me. So I hope you've learned something today, maybe given you something to think about. Would you ever run cross-country tires on your bike? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to hear people's thoughts on this. I don't know if I will run cross-country tires forever. I think as I ride them more, I'll probably start to notice some of their limitations. Thank you, Kenda. You've made a really awesome tire. I'm stoked on these things. And yeah, that's the end of the video. If you're curious about seeing the 4 tests I did side by side, the full runs, I will go ahead and put those at the end of this video. I truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay rowdy within reason. Mr. Small on his motorcycle ruining my outro. He's like revving his engine. He's going He's going 10 miles an hour. No one's impressed. I don't even see anyone. Maybe he's trying to impress me. Like, oh, look at that creepy guy over on that loading dock. Oh, now he's going fast. Ah.
Clear my way.
Let's go and go. 2 clicks. Oh 3. Yeah. God. Holy crap, it's so fast. I am concerned about tearing a tire, but it's, 2 clicks down. Oh wow, 2 clicks. Just the responsiveness. Oh, it's astonishing. I'm pretty tired already. I haven't felt any loss of grip yet, which is nice. Grip feels fine. No issues there. Through there. I took the left line last time, so we'll do that again. Wait. Up through there. Hi. No time to say hi. Let's go. Another story. Holy crap. It's so fast. Stop. Wow. And wow. Stop. Here's our test loop. Where's the turn? Here it is. Oh, that's loose. Oh, wow. Okay. So if I'm not faster, I think what's happening is I'm in a heavier gear each time because the gear I would normally be in for this feels too light with these tires. So I shift up this way, and I'm in a heavier gear, and maybe I'm not strong enough, but here we go. And I think I went to this. And stop. Just released with this amateurish design that I made myself that represents mountain biking, Texas, and my fun slogan written on a black tire with yellow italicized font. Completely original idea that was not taken from any tire manufacturer. Sorry, Maxxis, please don't sue me. I cannot afford that right now.